Hey, so I just went and got a spray tan, and that's why I don't have any makeup on. And before you're like, girl, you need to go ask for your money back, don't worry, I asked for it without any bronzer, so it just is a clear coat. But I've got a super busy couple of days ahead of me, and I figured I would meal prep, and I thought, since I'm doing it, why not film it? Okay, so this is gonna be fun. So I have my camera up and stuff going on over here, but I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350. I want to make enchiladas. I'm going to make an egg salad, and I will probably make a couple snacks. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna set a pot of water on to boil. Actually, I'm gonna do two. I will do one for the eggs, and then I think I'm gonna make a pasta as well. I'm also gonna share my super secret tip for perfect boiled eggs. I know some people complain a lot about their boiled eggs being green on the inside, which is disgusting. You guys, that is from overcooking your eggs. So if you would like a perfectly yellow yolk, keep watching. So for this egg salad, I'm going to use 1 full egg and 5 egg whites, hopefully, if they peel okay. I just want to keep my fat content down just a little bit, so that's why I'm just using 1 full egg and then the 5 whites. You're gonna put these directly into the pot. There's nothing in here yet. I'm gonna add warm water from the sink. And you want just enough water to barely cover the eggs. We're going to wait until we see a rolling boil on this, and then we are going to set our timer. So I'm going to turn this up to medium high, almost all the way to high, and wait for this to boil. I will add a little bit of salt to this as well. So we're gonna let that one go. I'm waiting for this one to boil. In the meantime, let's get started on the enchiladas. This is my life. It's like constantly working around my dog. I'm trying to open the dishwasher and she just like chills there. She's like, yeah, I don't care. You're gonna have to go around me. So I've got a large frying pan right here. We're gonna turn this up to high. And these enchiladas will feature the world's best tortillas, which are the Tortilla Land uncooked tortillas. So we're just gonna cook these up. I am going to use a 7 by 11 inch glass pan to cook the enchiladas. Ground turkey, so I'll just brown it, and I will add a tiny bit of taco seasoning, but not quite yet. So the reason I wait on the taco seasoning is because once it's all cooked, I like to, rather than just drain it, I'll drain it and then rinse it. I just take a little sieve and throw the meat in there and run it under warm water. I find that it just makes it a little bit less fatty, which is what I'm looking for. Obviously, I mentioned that with the eggs. So by rinsing it, I feel like you can take out a little bit more fat, and it's less expensive to do it that way instead of just buying a leaner meat. So food for thought. Oh, but my point was, so if you are adding the taco seasoning beforehand, it's just gonna end up getting rinsed off, and that's not what you want. So I've drained it, rinsed it, I've added a titch of water, and I am going to add a little bit of taco seasoning now. I think I forgot to mention, this is about half a pound-ish raw. The reason I don't really know is because I will be weighing it once it's cooked. So I just use the cooked variation rather than the raw variation. It doesn't really matter as long as you consistently measure the same way. Oh, P.S. you guys, this is called a spurtle, and it's like changed my life. So if you haven't gotten on the spurtle train, I think it's time. Once this gets to the point where it's all mixed up and ready to go, I am going to set it aside. The tortillas have been cooling down, just set aside on a plate, and we'll move on to the pasta. I have my 7 by 11 pan here. You can do a 13 by 9 if you want to make more. I'm just making this for 1 to 2 days, and my husband will probably eat some as well. So we have got our tortillas that we cooked a little bit earlier. Obviously you can use whatever tortillas you want. You don't have to use those ones. I just think they are delicious. I'm going to weigh my cooked ground turkey as I go, and I'll try and put in even amounts. We'll go for 55. How's that? I always keep 2 kinds of cheese in my house. I have mozzarella typically and Fiesta blend typically. I think I'll use a little bit of both in these and just do half and half. And we're just gonna roll this baby up. Okay, so once you have your 4 little enchiladas here, you are going to pour some enchilada sauce over the top. I will just take the total weight of the sauce and divide it by 4 when I go to enter it into my FitnessPal. Oh, and for the enchilada sauce, canned. I know, guys, it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but oh, focus. And then I really like cheese, so I'm gonna put some extra on top. If you are trying to save your fat, then don't worry about it, but also remember that cheese has some protein in it too. Okay, these are going into the oven preset to 350, and they will cook for about 15 minutes. Check them at 15, see if the cheese is bubbling. We have a rolling boil on our pasta water. The eggs are not quite yet at a rolling boil. Hi, okay, so hello. I'm going to measure out 1 serving of pasta, and I'm super excited about the pasta I'm using. I'm super excited about the pasta I'm using because I just barely found out about it, and it has 14 or 15 grams of protein per serving, which I think is awesome because you can't usually find a pasta like that. And it tastes just like pasta, so there's nothing weird about it. This is the pasta I'll be using. It's the red lentil pasta. It is made from lentil flour, which is super cool. 34 carbs, which is a decent amount for pasta. 1 gram of fat and 15 grams of protein. If you are somebody that's trying to increase your protein intake but don't want to do it through a lot of meat, this is a good option. So I've measured out 1 serving of pasta dry, which is 56 grams, and we are just gonna throw that in there. The pasta has been cooked to al dente. I am going to add some Classico sauce because I'm not fancy and I just want to get this done as quickly as possible. So I do use just a jarred marinara that you get at Walmart or Brolam's or Winco or wherever you want to go. So I will be adding 1 serving, which is about 125 grams of that pasta sauce, to this almost cooked pasta and put it on the stove to heat it up a little bit. We're going to add some Walden Farms Alfredo sauce. So if you haven't heard of Walden Farms, I hadn't until I started counting macros. It's basically calorie-free items. So they've got pasta sauce, they have pancake syrup, they've got a ton of different things. I will say some of their stuff tastes a little bit chemically. I really like their pancake syrup. Sorry, this is not entertaining at all, like from a visual standpoint, and I'm sorry about that, but I'll start adding this while I'm talking. How's that? They've got some pancake syrups that I really like. They have this Alfredo sauce, and this is my This was my first time purchasing this jar of Alfredo sauce, and so when I went to taste it, I just like, you know, stuck my finger in the jar and licked it off. That sounds disgusting. Okay, when I went to taste it, I just like put a little bit on my finger and tasted it that way, and it was really sweet. And so I don't know that I would ever use this pasta sauce by itself. However, because it is calorie free and has a little bit of a creaminess to it, that sweetness actually helps counteract the acidity in the tomato sauce, which is something that I learned from my husband. He makes a dang good pasta, and he always adds a little bit of sugar when he makes his pasta sauce, and that just cuts the acidity of the tomato. I'm going to take a little bit of ground turkey that's already been browned and mix that in there just to give this a little bit more protein. So I will be taking this pasta with me to work tomorrow and heating it back up in the microwave, so it will cook a little bit more. So just be mindful of that when you're cooking your pasta and you're boiling it down. You don't want it too crunchy. Obviously, it's not going to cook all the way through with the microwaving and then adding the sauce, but just be mindful of it so that it's not mushy when it comes out of the boiling water, because it will only get worse. I was also thinking about doing a Walden Farms review, just of some of their products and what I like and what I've found that I don't really like. So if you would be interested in seeing something like that, let me know in the comments below. If not, then tell me. I mean, we're all friends here, right? Our eggs are at a rolling boil. That's what it looks like. Now you are going to set your timer for 10 minutes. You want to be prepared for when the 10 minutes is over on your eggs. So I make a little ice bath. I just take a bowl of water, add some ice, and I set it to the side. As soon as the 10 minutes hits, you want to take out these eggs immediately and put them into the ice bath. So I just use a slotted spoon them out and throw them in there. I have the eggs all peeled and ready to go, and I will show you how I make my egg salad. We ended up with 1 whole egg and 4.5 whites. One of them stuck to the shell so bad that I only got half of it, and amazingly enough, one of them peeled so well I cried. So this egg salad recipe I actually got from my macro coach. She's super smart, you guys, and I am really happy that she posted this because I've made it like 18 times since she posted. So here is my eggs, and also notice yellow yolk. Say no to green yolks, guys. I'm just going to take a fork and mash this up. So we have our mashed egg. Delicious. And I'm going to add some cottage cheese. I prefer the fat-free. I'm going to add 1 serving of the cottage cheese, which is half a cup. This cottage cheese is essentially taking place of the mayo. And we are going to add a little bit of yellow mustard. I don't like a ton. I'll probably leave it at that. That's about a teaspoon. And then some dill weed. And I do like this, so I will add quite a bit of it. Some minced onion. This is just the dried stuff that you can keep in your spice cabinet. I like it because then I can just pull it out and use it whenever I need to, instead of chopping an onion every time I need some onion. Alright, so last time I made this clocked in at almost 40 grams of protein. It is very high in protein, not a ton of fat, and really low carb. So excellent choice if you are looking for any of those options. For the egg salad, I usually just serve it on a sandwich roll. Sometimes I'll eat it on one of those uncooked, not uncooked, I cook it, tortilla. So yes. All right, so there's what we have so far. Bottom is an enchilada, middle is an egg salad, and top is our pasta. I don't need to make a ton more. That'll make up a good majority of my day. I'll throw quite a few snacks in between, so I will show you what I like to snack on during the day. And then yeah, I'll probably prep one vegetable snack. I just got some cucumbers today, so I'll do that and I'll show you guys how I do that. Oh, and then I'll show you some of the meal bars, protein bars, whatever you want to call them, that I throw in my bag just in case I feel like I need more throughout the day and I'm not able to make it home. This is an English cucumber. I've already chopped off the ends. You guys, I swore I would never pay $1.50 for a cucumber. However, Chris was like, hey, my mom loves these, you should try them. And I was like, okay, well, you know, if it's not that great, you know, I'll jump in on $1.50. And if it's not that great, I'm going back to regular cucumbers. Oh, it's that great. So the skin is a lot thinner, which I love. They're not as waxy, which is something that I can't stand about cucumbers. And I don't like to peel them because a lot of the nutrients are there in the skin and I don't want to get rid of that, but I felt like the skin was overwhelming on a regular cucumber. So totally worth the extra money. I can't eat a regular cucumber now and be happy about it. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna slice this up really quick and I'm gonna pour some dressing over the top of it. I'm using the Skinny Girl poppy seed dressing. You guys, I'm obsessed with that Brianna's dressing that has like 20 grams of fat per serving. It is so good. So when I saw this poppy seed dressing, I was all for it. And it only has 3 carbs and nothing else. One other thing that I should mention is that I am not a fan of vegetables. I always thought I would like grow into it, you know, and just like suddenly when I became an adult, I would love vegetables, and that's not the case. So for me, I have to make a conscious effort of getting my vegetables in every day. At least I try to. I don't always get my vegetables in. But this is one easy way to do it, and I know that they have a lot of nutrients. I know they have a lot of vitamins and minerals, and I just sometimes cannot motivate myself to eat them. So if they are ready to go chopped up like this, then it makes it a lot easier for me. If this was just sitting in my fridge as a whole cucumber, you can bet your sweet little bum that I would never just pick that up and start eating it like an apple. This is 318 grams of cucumbers. I'm going to pour a little bit of this dressing over the top. I'll just eat it like that. I do like to dress it. I don't find that it makes the cucumber soggy or anything like you would a salad, so I'll just dress it like that. If you are worried about it, you can keep your dressing in a separate container until you're ready to eat. I have my little meal prepped containers over here. You guys, I don't know why I've never heard of these before, but thank the heavens my coworker has heard of them before, and he let me have a bite of one time, and it was to die for. You know how most protein bars have like that proteiny taste to them? You know that there's protein in there, and then if you don't know there's protein in there while you're eating it, you definitely know after you're done eating it, because the aftertaste is like, whoa, there's protein. This protein bar tastes like a straight candy bar, and it is delicious and no weird aftertaste. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't know how they did it. I kind of feel like they're lying to me a little bit. There can't be 16 grams of protein in this delicious thing. So I will show you what it is. This is the best thing that has happened to me in a long time. I will be adding that to my little meal prepped area over here because I will definitely be eating one of those tomorrow. And then usually in the mornings, right before I go to the gym, I love having these kind of bars ready for me. So I don't like to eat something super heavy. I just want something that's gonna give me enough energy, and I like a good amount of carbohydrates before I work out. I don't know why that is. I just feel like I perform a little bit better. I know that some people like more fat to run on, some people like more protein, but I like a good amount of carbs with just a little bit of fat and a little bit of protein. So I'll be making another video soon on whole food bars. I'm sure you've seen ones like RX bars. That's probably the most popular. That's probably the one that you've heard of if you've heard of any of them. So there's a whole slew of them, and I decided I've had RX bars before and they're pretty good. I've also had these picky bars, which it's the same concept. I will be doing a video in the near future reviewing a few different brands of these Whole Foods bars. Stick around for that. Hopefully you like that. I I do like these just because I feel like if I'm eating a bar, especially if I'm eating, you know, a candy bar, then I want something else that's going to be made from like good, nutritious foods. I remember there was like one really weird bar in here, like the flavor sounded like it was going to be disgusting, and then it ended up being my favorite, so I'm looking for that. Moroccan Your World is what it's called, and it has turmeric, cardamom, ginger, and pistachio, and I was like, that sounds pretty friggin' disgusting, but guess what? It's delicious. So that's the one that I'm adding to my pile for tomorrow. That will be devoured before I hit the gym. Thank you guys so much for watching this horribly untalented video production. I hope that I was able to keep you here for at least this long, and I hope that you got some good ideas. Not everything is going to be, you know, the perfect fit for everybody that watches this video, but I hope that it at least inspires you to do a little bit of meal prep for yourself so that you can eat healthier. Like I said, all of the macronutrients for all of these will be listed below with the weights that I used in grams. I weigh everything. That's how I prefer to do it. I just like to be as accurate as I can be without being, you know, obsessive about it. I just want to make sure that I'm following my numbers as closely as possible. So that way I know whether or not I'm making progress or I'm not, and if the numbers are the issue. If you would like to see more videos like this in the future, please be sure to subscribe and let me know down in the comments below. If you tried any of these recipes and liked them, please let me know. I would love to talk to you about it. So thanks so much for watching. See you later.